from our 7 Tasmania studios. Your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Leading the news tonight, the downfall inside Tasmania's biggest hospitals has been laid bare in a new report by the nation's Medical Association. Patient response in emergency continues to plummet, with the state's top doctors saying it's not the quality of staff, but the number that's to blame.
A strained system sending its pain to the front line as our health heroes hold on in times of crisis.
Disappointing, demoralising, there's a heap of words to describe the problems that are happening at the moment.
New AMA performance data is showing where the cracks lie in the public hospital system, with just 28% of urgent patients in the Royal Hobart Hospital's emergency department being seen in the required 30-minute time frame.
I'm held accountable as Premier and Health Minister for our waiting lists. Every single month we release in an open and transparent way information about our health system.
Concerningly, the results remain bleak inside Launceston's major hospital. 43% of the urgent emergency department cases receiving care on time.
The Launceston General Hospital, great people, great hospital, it's too small, it needs to be bigger. Up the northwest coast, we've got so much locum staff as well, we need permanence.
Elective surgery wait times are falling, but still 62% of people going under the knife in Hobart waited beyond 30 days.
Urgent surgery, that's someone potentially with cancer. That's a life in danger.
Leading doctors say while there's positives in the fine print...
True, we're going okay compared to the rest of Australia in Tassie, but we're not going that well.
The new emergency ward here at the Royal Hobart Hospital began treating patients for the first time today in an investment the Premier hopes will address key challenges weighing down on the sector.
More beds, contemporary facilities, better flow through will address, I'm sure, the challenges that we have in our emergency departments.
They make announcements regularly. They talk about infrastructure, they talk about record funding, but the thing is they're not fixing the fundamental problem.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
Several campsites had to be evacuated and a 28-year-old Hobart woman was arrested on the state's east coast overnight. One camper chose to sleep outside the police station with the Special Operations Group deployed to defuse the incident.
Diana's Basin today back to its normal sleepy self, but relaxing and calm was not what this iconic campground was last night.
What happened at 2 o'clock?
Well, the police car had the siren going, and when I got up to have a look outside, got the flashlight on me, and then she told us we had to evacuate because there'd been an incident.
The whole area told to leave. Emergency services were called to the site just before 11 o'clock after a report of a woman with a machete. It's alleged she approached local officers with the weapon and as a result was sprayed with mace before escaping into nearby bushland. The Special Operations Group, including trained negotiators, were called in. Police drones and the Westpac chopper were also deployed.
She just said there was a lady who was just a bit ran away from them and couldn't catch them.
This is a popular location for families, especially during the summer months, and just 2 days ago was packed with campers here for the Australia Day weekend.
So nice and quiet.
Other campers say they've stayed at the site before with no issues. However, many describe last night's incident as quite scary. But they're full of praise for emergency services.
They look after people, so we were grateful for them, yeah.
Did you feel like it was all a bit of a dream?
Absolutely. Nightmare, really.
Talia Jordan, 7 Tasmania News.
A concerning increase in the number of Tasmanian Aboriginals entering the justice system has been uncovered in a new government services report. The number of First Nations people being directed into a treatment or care program has halved since 2013. Greens leader Cassie O'Connor has expressed her dismay at what she says is government inaction to close the gap.
They've let their political tough-on-crime ideology get in the way of good corrections and justice policy that provides a rehabilitative response to prisoners.
The Premier has acknowledged the challenges are significant, saying access to education and rehabilitation is a key focus in reducing reoffending. UTAS Stadium is set for a major facelift with plans revealed for a $65 million revamp. It comes as the state government extends its deal with the Hawthorn Football Club, but Labor says not enough is being done to support grassroots sport.
Kicking off big plans for the North's home of AFL. The first tranche of upgrades will focus on UTAS Stadium's eastern stand with improvements to player facilities and a new entertainment precinct.
Really ensuring that we're having more contemporary facilities for UTAS Stadium.
Stage 1 of the plan will go ahead with or without federal support, with another $65 million needed for further upgrades.
I've had positive discussions with the PM on that as well.
The state government expects shovels to be in the ground by the end of the year, with completion slated for 2025. Hawthorn happy with the plans, inking a new 2-year extension to its deal to play in Tasmania.
We love playing on this deck. It's been a good hunting ground for us, and that's not an insignificant factor.
Hawks leadership reaffirming the club's support of a 19th licence, saying Tasmania has enough footy fans to go around.
Now, 22 years of history, 10,000 members. It's generational now. We have, young people that have always been Hawthorn people.
Speculation continuing on when a Tasmanian team will be announced, with AFL CEO Gil McLachlan to meet with business leaders at a Hobart event next month.
But really, it's time for the announcement and time for some detail about when we can expect to see this Tasmanian AFL team.
But Labor says the government is neglecting grassroots sports in favour of big-ticket stadium promises.
Well, there's many grassroots sports around Tasmania that have crumbling infrastructure, and they're seeing elite sport being the recipient of millions of dollars of government funding.
Glenorchy Basketball Club says it's struggling to keep up with an influx of children wanting to take up basketball.
We were at the point where kids could be turned away because we haven't got any halls and they don't want to actually invest the money into places like Moona Stadium.
We'll continue to have those conversations with respective sporting bodies and organisations about what the needs are.
The ball now firmly in the government's court. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
And it's official, Collingwood is returning to Tasmania to take on the Hawks. The practice game will be the Pies' first in the state since 2015. It will take place at UTAS Stadium on Thursday the 2nd of March at the twilight time of 5:10. A man in his 50s has died after a single vehicle crash at Youngtown. The incident happened around 8:30 and may have been caused by a medical episode. Medina Street was closed for nearly 3 hours. Police will prepare a report for the coroner. Tasmania is shooting for the stars, switching on a new satellite to track everything happening in space. Not only will the technology help keep spacecraft safe, it will also unlock a world of commercial opportunities.
Ground control to Major Tom.
A dish wish has come true for Tasmania's space sector.
Deepens our experience in tracking satellites, communicating with satellites.
The $2 million antenna will support space missions and reduce the chance of spacecraft colliding in orbit, but its uses are as broad as the universe itself.
We just saw the dish here track a satellite that downloads data about Australia's water, for example.
The secret is in its ability to send and receive signals, giving us on Earth far more control of what's happening in the sky.
Before we were just able to receive signals from space with some of our other antennas. This one gives us the chance to transmit up.
And that could fill local pockets by pinching a slice of the growing space sector, which is tipped to become a $1 trillion global industry.
And Australia's really an interesting position to capture a significant share of that because of our talent, because of our geography, and really the Australian ingenuity.
So what makes this space superb for a satellite? Well, it often has clear skies, it's southern, and there's hardly anyone around. In fact, it's the southernmost satellite in the world of its kind.
I guess it's not widely known, but yes, we've played a big role for more than 30 years in this space.
A footprint being felt far, far away. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News. Australian Open doubles champion Rinky Hijikata has won his opening match at the Burnie International in straight sets, while Aussie Dane Kelly has triumphed in a three-setter against Japan's Naoki Nakagawa, winning 3-6, 6-2, 6-3. And fellow countryman James Duckworth has also progressed to the round of 16 following a straight sets win.
Good evening. Hobart 24 degrees today. Launceston and Burnie recorded 25 and Devonport 22. 28 was the high. That was at Bushy Park. Grove 26 today. St Helens and Friendly Beaches 25, temperatures in the low 20s on the islands and over the west. Mostly clear skies today, but cloud did start to bank up over the west coast. We have a cold front heading our way. We'll see that as we look at this map. Unsettled conditions over much of the north of the nation. A band of cloud with that cold front moving to our west, followed by a colder pool of air. Tomorrow, the cold front comes and goes as a large high south of WA extends a ridge over the Bight. A couple of troughs complete the picture on the mainland. The northwesterly winds will tend southwesterly after the change and strengthen tomorrow, pushing up to 20 to 30 knots over the east and south, swells to 3 metres in western and southern waters. A strong wind warning in place for waters between Sandy Cape and Stanley, and also from St Helens Point to South East Cape. Hobart tomorrow, down to 19 degrees and a possible shower. Shower or two clearing from Geeveston, 18 the top, and cloudy for Bothwell, 17 the maximum. Launceston 23, 30% chance of rain, partly cloudy mostly. Devonport 22, 21 the high for Cressy. Burnie partly cloudy, 19 also for Strawn with showers and a morning shower for Curry on King Island, 19 as well. 24 the top for St Helens with a shower or two, partly cloudy for Swansea and Orford tomorrow. UV at the top of the very high range on 10. On Thursday, a very windy day with showers increasing, just a possible shower over the east. Still a shower or two into Friday, the percentage dropping a bit to 60 to 70%. And on Saturday, a shower over Bass Strait and the southeast. Hobart 19, a cloudy day for Launceston, and 23. Sunny and 35 in Perth. Cloudy weather for Adelaide, an afternoon shower forecast for Melbourne. Sunny for Canberra and Sydney, 32 in Brisbane with a shower or two further north. Can't possibly get this wrong. 22 in Hobart, 22 in Launceston and 22 right now in Devonport. And Kim, I've done absolutely no preparation for the throwback to you tonight.
OK, that's fine. I'd like to see you look very suave tonight. I feel somewhat underdressed. Good night, Murph. And that is all your news for now. We'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.